Everything in your life is unfolding according to a divine principle, one that is unseen yet more real than the world before your eyes. When something significant is about to enter your life, the evidence does not first appear outwardly, it is first revealed in the unseen realm of your consciousness. Before something great arrives in your life, there are unmistakable signs, signs that many fail to recognize because they do not yet understand the language of manifestation. When the universe is about to deliver something significant, it does not announce itself with fanfare. Instead, the first evidence appears as disorder, uncertainty, and change. This is not the destruction of your dreams, but rather their formation. What appears to be falling apart is, in reality, shifting to align with the new reality that is seeking expression in your world. You may notice a sudden disruption in your life. Relationships that no longer serve you begin to fade, unexpected obstacles arise, or you feel a growing sense of discomfort with your current circumstances. This is not misfortune. It is the clearing of the old to make way for the new. Just as a sculptor must chip away the excess stone to reveal the masterpiece within, life must remove the unnecessary to reveal the destiny you have been preparing for. Many people mistake these changes for failure. They believe that because things seem to be getting worse, they must be moving further from their goal. This is an illusion. The conscious mind sees only fragments of the process, not the full picture. When you plant a seed, the ground above it remains undisturbed, giving no outward indication of growth. But beneath the surface, the seed is breaking apart, dissolving in its current form to emerge as something entirely new. The same is true in your life. When something great is about to manifest, the old conditions must break apart to make way for the new reality. Another sign that something big is coming is a deep internal shift. Even before circumstances begin to change, you will feel a transformation within. There is a moment when you no longer doubt, no longer question. You simply know. This is not mere hope or wishful thinking. It is an inner conviction, a certainty that what you have imagined is already yours. This knowing may come suddenly or gradually, but when it arrives, it is unshakable. The external world may appear unchanged, even resistant, but do not be deceived by appearances. Reality is a mirror, reflecting back to you only what you persistently assume to be true. When your inner state changes, the world must rearrange itself to match it. This is the universal law. The moment you accept your desire as a present fact in consciousness, unseen forces begin working to bring it into form. Many people give up at this stage because they expect instant results. But just as the caterpillar must dissolve completely before emerging as a butterfly, your old reality must undergo transformation before the new can emerge. If you allow doubt and impatience to take hold, you delay the process. But if you remain firm in your assumption, if you persist in your belief despite all appearances, the manifestation becomes inevitable. The signs appear as opportunities disguised as challenges. You may find yourself presented with a situation that forces you to grow, to step outside your comfort zone. This is the universe stretching you, preparing you for the blessing you have asked for. If you resist, if you cling to the familiar, you delay your own expansion. But if you embrace the challenge, if you trust that every event is working in your favor, you accelerate your own transformation. There will also be moments of synchronicity, unexpected coincidences, chance encounters, and seemingly random events that align perfectly with your vision. These are not accidents. They are glimpses of the unseen forces at work, confirming that your assumption is taking root. The more you acknowledge these signs, the more they appear, guiding you toward your manifestation. So when you find yourself in the midst of uncertainty, when the familiar begins to dissolve and the new has not yet fully appeared, know that you are in the transition phase of something extraordinary. Do not resist. Do not waver. Hold steadfast to your vision, for the signs are clear. Something great is unfolding. Your inner world is the blueprint for everything that unfolds in your external life. Nothing manifests without first being accepted as real in your consciousness. When something great is on its way to you, the first shift occurs within, not in the outside world. Long before you see the evidence, you will feel a deep and unshakable knowing, an inner conviction that what you have desired is already yours. This knowing is not something you force. It emerges naturally as you persist in your assumption. It is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the invisible foundation upon which your new reality is built. This conviction may seem irrational. The world around you might show no signs of change. You may still be surrounded by circumstances that contradict your vision. But if you remain faithful to the unseen reality, if you hold firm to the feeling of already having what you desire, the external world will begin to conform. Most people, however, do the opposite. They allow what they see to dictate what they believe. If the outer world does not immediately reflect their desire, they assume it is not working, that they have failed. But this is a misunderstanding of how reality operates. Everything you experience is a reflection of your internal state. The world is simply mirroring back to you what you consistently hold as true. If you look at your current conditions and react with doubt, fear, or frustration, you are reinforcing those same conditions. But if you persist in your inner knowing, if you refuse to be swayed by appearances, you command reality to rearrange itself in your favor. The change begins in consciousness and the world follows. It must, for this is law. This inner conviction does not come from mere positive thinking. It is not about repeating empty affirmations without feeling. True belief is felt. It is a quiet, unwavering assurance that no matter what is happening around you, your desire is already secured. It is like standing on the shore, knowing the tide will come in, even if the ocean appears still. There is no need for anxiety, no need to check constantly for signs. You simply know. One of the clearest indications that something big is coming is when you feel a shift in your emotions. You no longer feel desperate or impatient. You no longer look for evidence outside of yourself. Instead, you carry a sense of peace, a quiet confidence that what you desire is on its way. This is not indifference. It is certainty. The moment you stop needing external validation and instead trust your inner reality, you accelerate the manifestation process. Doubt is the only thing that delays your desires. The moment you waver, the moment you entertain thoughts of lack or impossibility, you introduce resistance. But when your conviction is absolute, when you refuse to accept anything other than the fulfillment of your desire, the path becomes clear. You do not need to know how it will happen. You do not need to force anything. You simply need to persist in the state of knowing. Often, people experience a moment of deep clarity before their biggest breakthroughs. It is as if something within them shifts and they suddenly feel different. The struggle disappears. The need to control vanishes. They no longer chase after their desires because they feel as though they already have them. This is the moment when everything begins to move in their favor. People, circumstances, and events start aligning effortlessly. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open. Opportunities appear where none existed before. It is not the world that has changed. It is their inner state that has changed. And the world is simply responding. You do not have to fight against your circumstances. You do not have to struggle to make things happen. You only need to align yourself internally with the reality you wish to experience. Once you do, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. So when you begin to feel this deep sense of knowing, when you find yourself no longer attached to appearances, when you feel an unshakable calm even in the midst of uncertainty, recognize it for what it is. A sign that something great is unfolding. Do not question it. Do not doubt it. Stand firm in your assumption, for the universe is already moving in your favor. The greater the blessing, the greater the transformation required to receive it. Before something significant enters your life, you must become the version of yourself who can hold it, embody it, and sustain it. This process often requires a complete dissolution of your old self, the beliefs, habits, and identities that have kept you where you are. Many people resist this stage because they mistake it for hardship, loss, or failure. They do not realize that what feels like destruction is in fact preparation. The life you have been asking for cannot exist in the same space as the one you are leaving behind. You may notice that things you once relied upon begin to fade away. People who were once close to you may distance themselves. Situations that once felt stable may suddenly fall apart. This is not punishment. It is alignment. The old reality is making room for the new, and anything that does not serve your next level must be released. At first, this may feel uncomfortable, even painful, but the discomfort is a sign that you are in the process of becoming. Consider the caterpillar. Before it can emerge as a butterfly, it must completely dissolve within its cocoon. It does not simply grow wings, it undergoes a total transformation, breaking down entirely before it can take its new form. If the caterpillar resists this process, it will never fly. The same is true for you. If you cling to what is familiar, if you refuse to let go of old patterns, you delay your own expansion. One of the clearest signs that something big is coming is a feeling of being unsettled. You may sense that the life you are living no longer fits. Even if nothing has changed outwardly, you feel internally that you are meant for more. This is your soul calling you forward, urging you to step into the reality you have been creating. The mistake most people make is trying to hold on to both, the comfort of the old and the promise of the new. But you cannot move forward while clinging to what was. You must be willing to release, to trust, to surrender to the unfolding. This transformation may manifest as challenges. You may face situations that push you beyond your limits, forcing you to grow in ways you never expected. This is not meant to break you, it is meant to shape you. The universe is refining you, strengthening you, preparing you to handle what you have asked for. If you desire abundance, you may first experience financial struggles that teach you discipline and trust. If you desire love, you may first be shown all the ways you have blocked it within yourself. These challenges are not obstacles, they are invitations to step into the version of yourself who is ready for what is coming. Many people give up during this stage because they do not see the bigger picture. They assume that because things feel difficult, they must be on the wrong path. But this is a misunderstanding of how transformation works. The breakdown is part of the breakthrough. The discomfort is proof that change is happening. If you were to step into your new life without shedding the old, you would sabotage it. You would bring with you the same fears, the same doubts, the same limitations that kept you stuck. This process ensures that you are fully prepared to receive and sustain your blessing. During this stage, trust is essential. Trust that what is leaving your life is making space for something greater. Trust that the discomfort is temporary and that you are being guided toward exactly what you have asked for. Do not resist the process. Do not try to force things to stay the same. Instead, surrender to the unfolding, knowing that everything is happening for you, not to you. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to embrace change rather than fear it. When something falls away, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this making space for?" When you feel discomfort, instead of resisting it, ask, "How is this shaping me for my next level?" These shifts in perspective allow you to move through transformation with grace rather than struggle. The dissolution of the old self is not an ending, it is a beginning. It is the necessary preparation for the life you have been creating. If you are experiencing this, take heart. Something incredible is on its way to you. Let go, trust the process, and step boldly into the new. What you accept as true will shape your reality. This is the fundamental principle behind all creation. Before anything appears in your external world, it must first be assumed within. Your assumptions, whether conscious or unconscious, dictate the circumstances of your life. This is why faith is the most powerful force you can wield. Because faith is not merely belief in something unseen, it is the certainty that what you desire is already yours. Most people live by what they see. They look at their current conditions and allow them to determine what they believe is possible. If they see lack, they assume lack will continue. If they see obstacles, they assume they are stuck. But this is the wrong approach. Reality is not something that happens to you. It is something you create from within. The world is only ever a mirror, reflecting back the state you persist in. If you want to change what appears before you, you must first change what you accept as true in your mind. The moment you fully assume something as real, it begins to move into form. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it blind optimism. It is the law by which all things come into being. Every invention, every breakthrough, every success began first as an assumption held so firmly that the outer world had no choice but to conform. The person who succeeds is not the one who waits for evidence, but the one who walks in the certainty of their vision, knowing that the evidence will follow. Many people misunderstand faith. They think it means hoping for the best while secretly fearing the worst. But real faith is the opposite of doubt. It does not waver, does not seek validation, and does not react to appearances. It knows. When you assume something with absolute certainty, you do not question it. You do not check every day for signs of progress. You live as though it is already done. Consider the farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up each morning to see if it is growing. He does not doubt whether it will sprout. He knows that the process is unfolding beneath the surface, even though he cannot yet see it. This is the attitude you must adopt. Once you have planted the seed of assumption, your only task is to persist. The unseen forces of creation are already at work. Your job is not to interfere with worry or impatience, but to maintain the feeling of already having what you desire. The reason most people fail to manifest what they want is that they allow doubt to creep in. They assume something in one moment, but when their senses do not immediately confirm it, they abandon the assumption. This is like pulling up a seed before it has had time to grow. If you wish to see your desire fulfilled, you must be unwavering. Assume it and refuse to entertain anything that contradicts it. Sometimes, the path to your manifestation may unfold in unexpected ways. You may face challenges that seem to contradict your assumption, but these are not signs that it isn't working. These are the very steps leading you to your desire. The old reality must rearrange itself to make way for the new. If you react negatively, if you question whether it is happening, you slow the process. But if you remain steadfast, if you continue to walk in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will see the evidence begin to unfold. One of the most powerful tools in this process is imagination. What you vividly imagine, what you fully experience in your mind, becomes real. Your subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts whatever you persistently impress upon it. This is why visualization is so effective. When you imagine yourself already possessing your desire, when you feel the emotions associated with it, you are impressing that state upon your subconscious, and once impressed, it must be expressed. Faith is not passive. It is not sitting idly by, waiting for something to happen. It is an active, living assumption that permeates every aspect of your being. When you truly have faith, your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions align with your desired reality. You no longer hope for it, you expect it. You no longer wait for it, you live as though it is already yours. So when you find yourself questioning, when doubt tries to creep in, remind yourself, what I assume, I create. What I accept as true, I will experience. The power is not outside of you, it is within you, always responding to the state you persist in. Hold firm to your assumption, walk in faith, and the unseen will become seen. Everything you seek is already yours the moment you assume it to be. The signs of its arrival may not always appear as you expect. Sometimes they come as challenges, disruptions, or moments of deep internal transformation. But these are not obstacles, they are confirmations that your old reality is dissolving to make space for the new. Your faith is the key. When you persist in your assumption, when you hold firm to your vision despite appearances, you set in motion the unseen forces that shape reality. The world does not create your beliefs. Your beliefs create the world you experience. So do not be shaken by temporary discomfort. Do not fear the unknown. Trust the process, knowing that every shift, every change, and every challenge is guiding you toward exactly what you have asked for. Walk in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, remain unwavering in your conviction, and allow the unseen to take form before your eyes. Your only task is to believe completely and without hesitation. The moment you do, your reality will transform, and what was once invisible will become undeniable.